Salams and welcomes. Thank you for joining me in Study Secret tip number 33. And this is got to do with effective study planning. So we have looked at some of these previously, and this is just a recap or a summary. That one day you've got to visualize yourself walking out with your diploma or your degree certificate with a cap on your head. And this visualization is very, very important because once you understand that you want to be part of this group, you don't want to be sitting at the bottom of the class. So it does not matter what you are at the moment. You can be at the bottom of the class, I don't care. If you put your mind on it today, you can pass your exams. It's all got to do with your effective study planning and your mindset. Doesn't matter where you are at the bottom of the class, you can do something that can improve your chances for the exam. So firstly, remember to create a study schedule. Break your topics into manageable chunks. Prioritize your difficult subjects first because your difficult subjects are what's going to stress you out because you're always going to remember on your difficult subjects. Say, for example, you're struggling in mathematics. And if your parents can afford it, then it's always good to have a tutor, a maths tutor. And with today's technology, it is so easy that you can have online tuition courses. So if you can afford it, always get that maths tutor or that coach for science or for languages and try and use that because you are investing in your brain power. Then use a calendar or a tracker, a planner to track your study times, which is very, very important. Decide how many weeks you got left for the exam. Then divide that number of days with subjects you've got. If you're studying for 9 subjects, allocate equal time to that. Or if you're studying for 6 subjects, in my case, I only had 6 subjects because I'm 65 years old. And I matriculated in 1976 in Pretoria at the Lodium High School, right? So that's where I matriculated. And in those days, we had a choice between accounting, biology, and history. So I had English, Afrikaans, accounting, maths, history, and one more. But we only had 6 subjects. So it was very easy in those days, right? So you balance your study with breaks to avoid burnout. And remember that consistency beats last minute cramming every time. So your effective study planning from today, please set aside time for study planning today. And this is the best advice that I can give you because this is your goal setting every day before you sleep at night. Take a pen and paper and take a little exercise book. I love to use these little quad books, little blocks inside. But you can use any kind of exercise book. And on the cover of the book, write it your daily to-do list. And on the top of the page, you write today's date. Say if it's Wednesday or Thursday or Monday, write down Monday. And you write, okay, tomorrow morning is Tuesday. For Tuesday, these are the tasks that I want to do. I'm going to study biology for an hour. I'm going to study mathematics for 2 hours because I'm struggling with mathematics. And then I'm going to study half an hour for English. And then I'm going to set aside an hour for Afrikaans. And then you write all of that down. And then the next day, on Tuesday, when the day comes, you know you've got your to-do list. You must have a daily to-do list. Please, Mensa. And then you're on your to-do list, you decide on your to-do list, you must also write down, I'm going to exercise for 10 minutes, I'm going to exercise for 30 minutes, whatever it is. I'm going to go skipping, I'm going to go jogging for a while, I'm going to do A, B, C, and D. So write down details in that and keep on linking your to-do list with your goals for the end of the year. So your to-do list is very, very important, people. And up to today, I'm 65 years old, but alhamdulillah, even though I'm 65 years old, I spend 22 hours per day in bed, but I have daily to-do lists. Every day, alhamdulillah, by the grace of Allah, the night before I sleep, I make a to-do list. And if I forget, the minute I wake up in the morning, I have to make a to-do list. When you make a to-do list, then as you're completing the items, you tick it off. For example, say if you're a what they call it, a home executive. So you make a to-do list. Okay, for breakfast, I'm going to prepare this. For lunch, I'm going to prepare this. And for supper, I'm going to prepare this. And I'm going to pick up the kids. I'm going to drop the kids off at school. And then I'm going to pick them up in the afternoon. Then I'm going to sit down with the kids and teach them the tuition. Then I'm going to take them to dance classes. Then I'm going to take them for swimming classes. Then I'm going to take them for horse riding. So you put all of that on your to-do list. And the nice thing about the to-do list, as you are finishing a task, you tick it off and you feel so good because now you are accomplishing something. And on your to-do list, okay, I've got to buy groceries for today. Make that full list of groceries, and when you come back, you tick off everything, and that gives you a sense of accomplishment. You must have a to-do list, because then when you're finishing of the task, your brain starts releases dopamine, and your dopamine says, hey, you know what, I've done quite a few things today, and I've also managed to do my studying, which is very important, and I've done A, B, C, and D. And then on your to-do list, you also make notes of points of distraction. Maybe a phone call came that you spent an hour on it, right? Maybe your friend phoned you, or someone else phoned you about your electricity account or your bill. You wasted an hour. And then you make another note. Okay, there was another distraction. I watched TV for about 2 hours. I got distracted. So on your daily to-do list, you write off those things that you did well on, but you also make in red ink those things that were distractions. Because you must remember, these distractions are taken away. They're eating away into your time. And when it comes to exam, you got no time to waste. Time is a priority. Once that hour is gone, you are never going to get it back for the rest of your life. Yesterday is gone into history. Yesterday is never coming back. So please remember to prioritize your time, and effective study planning is part of that. Stay well, stay focused. Alhamdulillah.